Hey guys, GutMuncher0 here, and Gut Plays Minecraft, and I'm going to show you how to make a very easy XP farm. I'm going to start by showing you a one that's got a skeleton spawner. And so this is our, let's say that this is a skeleton dungeon that you found, deep underground on your world. And the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to, light it up, kill all the skeletons, and then you're going to want to make sure that this room is 9 by 9. So how big is this room? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in this case, we're going to want to go out, one in every direction. You'll excuse me because I'm really not used to playing with creative very much. I'm not very good with creative, although I am a creative guy. All right, so the first thing you would do is you would go around and you would dig this all out, and you want to make sure it's a couple blocks tall. And you're just going to dig all this out, so give me one sec. Okay, and so as you see now, we have a room that is 9 by 9 with the spawner right in the middle of it. We've dug it all out. 1, 2, 3, 4 on that side, 4 on that side, 4 on that side, and 4 on that side, okay? And so that's step one. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to put 2 blocks on top of the spawner, and that'll keep things, when we're done, that'll keep things from actually spawning on the spawner on top of it and not falling down, because that'll use up some of our spawns. Now the next thing we're going to do, and I'll just edit this, but the next thing we're going to do is we're going to dig down, and we're going to go down 3 blocks deep. Okay, so I'll catch you in a second. Okay guys, and I just wanted to point out one thing. It's important to have a bunch of torches and keep putting them down as you go, and you can just spam them anywhere, and I would just do 1 layer at a time, because these guys are going to spawn in, and like I'm in creative right now to show you this, but normally those guys would be doing some damage to you, right? So you're going to want to spam down some torches while you dig down layer by layer. So there's 1. Okay guys, so now we're at the next step. So we've got a 9 by 9 room, 9 by 9 room this way and this way, and then we've got 1, 2 down with blocks above the spawner, and then 1, 2, 3 down. So it's 9 by 9 by 6, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So then what we need to do is we need to decide, and this will depend on the terrain around where you're building and where you want your actual killing area to be. But you're just going to decide on one side that's going to be the area where the skeletons are collected. Okay, so let me show you, and just give me 1 second and I'll show you. And what we're going to do is on that side we're going to dig down a trench 3 blocks deep. Okay guys, and due to editing, we're now done with our collection area. So basically what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set this up. And what I like to do is I'll go along here and I'll put a row of dirt, and I'll just put torches on top of the dirt to keep skeletons from spawning. And then behind the dirt I'll fill in with water. And so when we're all ready to go, we would be able to dig up the dirt as we back out and escape from the skeletons, because when this all washes down, it's going to be really dark in here. And we should be able to go ahead and take these off now. I believe that'll be fine. Yeah, okay. Because this is lit up. This is lit up plenty, and these torches are just going to be lost, but it doesn't matter. But the trick is don't have any of them be on the wall like that. That's bad, because that torch would stay in here, and you don't want that. And you don't want any of them left on the thing. When this is done, when we're all done, we're going to be in a separate room here, and there's going to be no light at all in this room. Okay. And what's going to happen is, now water in Minecraft will go 8 blocks, right? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it'll just stop here, and anything that spawns in here is going to get washed over and just drop down in here, okay? So that's important, okay? So what we can do here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can go 7 that way with water, and we'll just put water here. And so that water is going to go all the way to the end, and that's important. So what we want to do is we're going to make a collection tunnel for the skeletons to go through, and we want to push them that way down the tunnel. So let me show you how we're going to decide where to do this, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to have a clear view of the spawner into our next room of our cavern here, or whatever, where, you know, this would all be underground, you know. And let me show you a trick. Oh, see, the fire went out. Okay, so if I stand on this block, there's fire. If I stand on this block, there's fire. But if I stand on this block back here, look, it went out. So what that means is this block is magic. It's outside the range. It's completely outside the range of the spawner. If you're standing here, you would not be spawning anything. But if you stand here, stuff would spawn. So that's a magic block for our purpose, okay? If you're standing here, stuff spawns. But nothing would spawn if you were standing here. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to use this as our drop spot. This is where everything is going to go to get killed. So what that means is, and I think I lined this up right. Yeah, I did even. What that means is our tunnel that we've dug here, and this would all be, you know, this would all be underground, obviously. But our tunnel that we've dug here would go out to this spot so that it's even with this block. See, they're even. So that's important. Okay, so when we do our, oops, can't fly. When we do our water here, it will push everything down here. And so that was a pretty good drop there. But let me show you something. What's going to happen is the skeletons are going to come in here and they're going to be jumping. And you want to make sure that they're going to go under that block. Okay. Other than that, you know, we'd be in the dark here, right? So now here we have a problem because the water stops. So what we could do is we could even go down another block here, which would be probably the easiest way to do it. But that creates another problem at this end because we're going to have a deal here with a sign. So I know it doesn't make any sense right now, but here's what I do. I go ahead and I put a sign there so that the water runs into that sign. And then on the block right above it, in one back, I put another sign. And then I put a bucket of water right there. And you see that pushes us right to this spot. Okay, so that's perfect. That's perfect. Now, what we need to do is we need to figure out, this is our killing level. So we need to go up 22 blocks from here. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 blocks. So anything that's there will drop 22 blocks. Let's just double count, okay? Because this is important. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Perfect. So this is where the bad guys are going to drop. Right on that spot. So what that means is that, you know, what'll be happening is you'll be digging your tunnel and you'll get to here. And it'll be a little difficult because in the Better Together version, you know, you don't have coordinates. But you can line this up. And then you're going to have to dig up a tube. That is going to align with that drop spot. Okay. And this is all very basic, and I did not invent this at all. Don't. Okay, so then once you've dug up here, you're going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're going to dig straight down to your killing spot. Right there. Okay. And that should be a 22 block drop. Now comes the tricky part, okay? Getting down. I'm in creative, but you know, you're probably going to want to make sure that you dig down to your spot, and that way you don't drop and kill yourself. Okay. At this point, we can go ahead and we would seal this up because we've got that all set. Now, the next part is a little tricky. Okay, guys, and now the next part for skeleton spawner is very easy. All we have to do is this. They don't spawn baby skeletons, right? So all we have to do is this. Just put a sign right there. Okay, and what's going to happen is above that sign, we're going to place a block of water. And what happens is the skeletons come up here and they're jumping and they go up in the water. And what you can do is, like, some people will skip and do several source blocks here. You could probably do like 1, 2, 3 source blocks of water, but they have to make sure they're source blocks, okay? Let me make a little light there. I don't do that because I'm always afraid that I'm going to end up killing the mobs because it's hard to make sure that you did a source block. I just do 1 and 1. So here's what I do. Okay, I do this. I'll put a sign there, then I'll skip a block and put a sign there. Water. And then you're floating, of course, you put water. This is a little more difficult when you're doing it in survival. I'll show you why. Because you're doing this. Okay, so then you just point yourself up at that block. Water. Then you make sure you're pointed at this block. Sign. And you're going to end up writing on them. And you're going to repeat this until you get to the very top. So give me a second and I'll show you. Okay, guys. And so now I've finished putting all the water in the riser. And let me replace this block of water here. And as you'll see, any skeleton that comes along here, and we would not have these torches being here. This would be dark. So I'll go ahead and take those out. And then at the end, I don't know if this is showing up in the video, but just the skeletons hold down on A, you know, so they bounce up and down. So they'll swim, and they'll swim up through all these individual blocks of water. And you'll know you did it right if you can do that and come up straight to the top. That's just a water elevator. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do two things. We're going to put a sign there, and we're going to put a sign there. And we'll put, we would not have these torches here, obviously. But I'll leave that one there for a second. And we would just put a bucket of water there. So now anything that comes up that tube, up that tube, is going to get pushed off here. And this sign keeps it from, that sign there keeps the water from filling up that hole. Okay, and then this would be our area where we will kill whatever it is, and we'll want to have a 1 block opening there. Okay, so are we ready? We're going to turn on the skeleton spawner right now. So that didn't take any time at all. This probably in survival, you know, is going to take you like an hour or 2 hours maybe total. And you just do this as backup, because those guys would be shooting you. And then when you get to the end, fill it in. But there you go. So there's our first skeleton. And we just have to wait for them to spawn in there. And then gradually they'll start coming in like in 2s and 3s. And if you wanted to, you could have made this like clear so you could see them. So now we have 3. And I heard some more. 4, 5. Wahaha. 5 skeletons. Wahaha. Anyway, and then these guys should be like 1 punch kills. 1. How do you like that? We did it. Now, there's one thing that I would add to here, definitely, even for the basic one. I would take the money, I would take the time, I would take the money, I would make at least 2 hoppers. If I can figure out where they are. And then personally, for me, what I would do is I would put 2 hoppers. Why can't I do this? Because I can't crouch. Now you see that? That was 1 extra block, so they died. So if you dug this down 1 extra block, when they hit the bottom, they'll just die. But I will put 2 hoppers coming that way. And then I would put a... If I can figure out where anything is here, I would put a double chest here. And that way when we kill these guys, all their goodies will go in the double chest. Okay, so that's for skeletons. There's one thing that I would do differently if this was a zombie spawner. And I'll show you. If this was a zombie spawner... Yeah, guys. If this was a zombie spawner, I would break that block out and that block out. And then... Hold on a sec. Okay. If this was a zombie spawner, I would break those blocks, those 2 blocks out, and then right there, I would dig down one, and I would put, personally, I would put some lava there. Because the baby zombies are not going to want to go up this hole. Now, you can rearrange the water blocks and stuff so that the baby zombies will go up, but that's just not the way I do it. I find that to be a lot more problematic. I just don't recommend it. I would just kill those baby zombies. Let them die down in the lava. That's my personal preference. Another way, you could put a half slab here on top of the 2 collectors there, and these guys will still be 1-hit kills. And now the XP is flowing very nicely out. So actually, I think I would recommend doing this no matter which one you did. You don't need a bigger hole than that to smack them in, and then, you know, look at all the stuff we got, and this is just in a few minutes of play. That's just in a few minutes, guys. So anyway, this is a really good XP farm. I hope you make it in your own world, and I will catch you later. Goodbye.